1994. The internet isn't even mainstream yet. Businesses are just learning to move money electronically. But somewhere in St. Petersburg, a man figures out how to drain millions from a major US bank without ever stepping foot in the country. This wasn't a Hollywood movie plot, it really happened. And it forced banks and the FBI to rethink how they fought crime in the digital age. This is the story of Vladimir Levin and the first $10 million digital heist. In late July 1994, a major US bank noticed something strange. Some of its biggest corporate clients, Fortune 500 level companies, were reporting missing money. At first, just a few $100,000 had disappeared, barely a blip on the radar. But for businesses that rely on these funds to pay salaries, suppliers, and overseas contracts, even a slight delay could throw entire operations into chaos. When investigators dug deeper, they found something shocking. The bank's cash management system, the system designed to allow corporations to securely move millions around the world, had been breached. And remember, this was 1994. Online banking was still brand new. Cybercrime as we know it barely had a name. There were no cybersecurity playbooks, no formal FBI cyber divisions. Someone, somewhere, had used stolen user IDs and passwords to break into the bank's private network, dialed in through the telephone system, and gained remote access to the financial heart of a major US bank. And here's the scary part. This wasn't through the internet as we know it. The hackers were bypassing the few defenses that existed, exploiting weak telecom security, and effectively becoming the bank's own users. For the first time, law enforcement was staring at a completely new kind of crime, one that didn't involve ASCII mask, a getaway car, or even a physical presence in the country. Over the next 3 months, June through October, the hackers executed around 40 unauthorized wire transfers. Millions of dollars were quietly funneled to accounts across the world: the Netherlands, Finland, Germany, Israel, even California. By the time investigators caught on, over $10 million had been targeted. But here's where the hackers underestimated their opponents. The bank froze many of the overseas accounts before the money could be withdrawn. In San Francisco, investigators traced 2 accounts where money landed, owned by a Russian couple, Evgeny and Ekaterina Korlakova. When Ekaterina flew to San Francisco and tried to withdraw funds, agents were waiting. The investigation soon pointed to a single name: Vladimir Levin. Levin wasn't some career criminal. He was a 30-year-old mathematician from St. Petersburg, highly intelligent, technically skilled, and operating far ahead of his time. Using just a laptop and phone line, Levin handpicked corporate accounts, scheduled transfers, and moved millions with precision. To the FBI, this was personal. They had never seen someone exploit a US bank like this without stepping foot in America. Stopping him wasn't just about recovering the money, it was about proving that digital crime could be investigated and prosecuted across borders. Authorities from the United States, the United Kingdom, and Russia coordinated in an unprecedented international effort. Eventually, Levin was lured to London, reportedly under the pretense of a business deal, where Scotland Yard agents arrested him at Heathrow Airport in March 1995. This was huge. Extraditing a Russian citizen for a cybercrime to face charges in the United States was practically unheard of at the time. After years of legal back and forth, Levin was extradited, pled guilty in January 1998, and was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison, plus $240,000 in restitution. For the FBI, this wasn't just a conviction, it was proof that cyber criminals could be caught, no matter where they hid. This case was a turning point. Almost overnight, banks around the world started tightening security, adding encryption, implementing multi-factor authentication, and monitoring transactions in real time. For the FBI, the case lit a fire. It led to the growth of the Bureau's cybercrime units, and within a few years, dedicated cyber task forces were in place in major cities. This case is still studied today as a landmark in cybercrime investigation. And here's the big picture. Levin's $10 million heist was just the beginning. Since then, cybercrime has evolved. from bank account hacks to ransomware, phishing, and even AI-driven attacks. This was the warning shot that told the world the future of crime would be digital. Today, cyber heists happen every single day, and some are far bigger than this one. But the lessons remain the same. Weak credentials are an open door. Global cooperation is crucial. Being proactive is everything. Vladimir Levin's story shows us that cybercrime isn't new. It's just evolving. And if a single man could pull this off in 1994 with a laptop and a phone line, imagine what attackers with today's tools can do. Cybersecurity is no longer optional. It's survival. And that's why we created Tileris, using AI to fight online fraud before it reaches you. Visit Tileris.com to see how we're protecting businesses and individuals from the next generation of cyber threats. If you loved this story, smash that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to understand how real cybercrime can get. Because the next big hack might already be in motion.